Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 21 July 2022. It's a Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Must be time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and it is. We have a fun one for you guys tonight. We are all over the map once again. Almost every kind of cutlery imaginable to the enthusiast, the aficionado, the collector, the addict. Before we get into the meat of the sale, let's do a little bit of housekeeping, shall we? First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I will post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I'll also reprint them down in the description underneath this video. Also in the description, above the terms of the sale, you're going to find 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first one goes right along with the terms of the sale. It's called a primer for buyers. Especially if you're new to this weekly sales event, it would be a great idea to watch that video. It's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms, and it explains why we do things the way we do on this weekly sales event. The second video link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. If you are a collector who needs to thin the collection and you'd like to use this weekly sales event to do it, that video explains how everything works from the consignor's perspective. And the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in the all-important description underneath this video, you will find those 3 links. Then you will see the terms of the sale, and at the very bottom, what you all came for, the inventory list for tonight's sale, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. The number to the left of the slash is the price of that knife as shown. The number on the right as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service. And if it's already got my edge on it, you'll just see a dash in lieu of a sharpened price. If the knife has been bought and paid for and has a new owner, you'll see the word sold, all caps, exclamation point. There will be next day sharpening this week for the first 6 knives purchased to be sharpened tonight. They will ship tomorrow, the 22nd, with all the as shown inventory. If you fall outside that first 6, expect your knife to ship in about 3 weeks if you want it sharpened. I think that's it for housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and then we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, guys, we just have 2 leftovers from last week's mega humongous sale. The first one from Ferrum Forge, specifically their Pro Series. The card says that this model is the Exec. It was made in 2019 and has a blade of CPM 20 CV. Comes in this here Wright Smart pouch, by the way. Here is the knife. I'm kind of shocked this one's still here, frankly. Pretty cool knife. And you know, this Pro Series from Ferrum Forge kind of predates the drop knives, or the mass drop knives from Ferrum Forge. Still overseas produced, but pretty cool stuff. Blue anodized and tumbled titanium frame, beautiful carbon fiber inlay. It is a titanium frame lock, steel inserted variety. No HRD, Hoback rolling detent on these Pro Series knives, but beautifully milled titanium pocket clip. And then we've got a flipper on bearings. The 20 CV blade on this one is 3.5 inches in length. Gorgeous drop point. Nice satin. The handle is 4.5. The steel inserted frame lock locks up thusly. And it is rock solid. Silky smooth ball bearing action. Dead centering. Stellar flipping action. We're going to call this like new in pouch. They are out of stock new, probably have been for some time. eBay sold listings, actual transactions running between 220 and 420. Somebody's going to steal this one. We ran it last week at 210, got no takers, dropped it to 195. My seller needs cash. He's going to let this go for 160. 160 like it is 185 with my edge on it. That's the Ferrum Forge Pro Series Exec. The second and final leftover tonight comes to us from TOPS Knives. And, you know, I'll grant you, it's a bit of a cartoony knife, which is probably why it didn't sell. But it's still got beautiful TOPS build quality. The model is the TOPS TAC-TOPS Karambit. It comes, as always, in a beautifully made Kydex sheath. This one featuring that, whatever, neoprene, snappable, rotatable belt loop. Inside that sheath is this beast, made in USA. We've got a 7 1/8 inch bladed Karambit with a swedge that's asymmetrically sharpened. Just from about here forward, it's sharp. It's got that crinkle coat epoxy. Handle is black canvas micarta, red liners. Behind that 7 1/8 inch blade, we have 4 1/8 inch of handle, which is from here back, including the, I don't know, how do you grip? Is that how you do that? You do that like that? I don't know. I don't know how you do it. Condition on this one is like new, no box, with the Kydex. Now guys, here again, somebody gets to steal this knife. These are out of stock, but when they were available, they were $180 web retail. We offered it last week at $120. It did not sell. We dropped it to $99 for the weekend. It's still here. Remember, web retail was $180. This week, $85. Like new, no box. $125 if you want me to sharpen that huge concave edge. That is the TOPS TAC-TOPS Karambit. All right, on to the fresh stuff. First up, what a little sweetie we got here. From Barker River Knives, Escanaba, Michigan, USA, we have perhaps the best EDC fixed blade on the planet, the Ultralite Bushcrafter. This one in CPM 3V. Comes in what appears to be an Obenauf's treated, or some kind of waterproof treated, leather bushcraft sheath with fire steel loop. How many ways can I carry that? Looks like I can go scout or I can go vertical in 2 height configurations. Here's the knife. Look at this, guys. Are you kidding me? So it's a standard ULB, blade-wise. 3 1/4 inch blade, high Scandivex, backed up by a 4 1/16 handle, and the handle is natural or jade or ghost green G10 with orange liners, and just look at the way that thing plays in the light. How cool is that? Yep, and unbelievable in hand, guys. If you have not had a ULB in your hand, you need to. As most of you know, I have a full height convex one that Heidi stole from me. I built it at a grind in, and it's now her paring knife. I never get to see the doggone thing. Anyhow, condition on this one's going to be near mint, in box. They're out of stock everywhere. When this knife was available new, web price would have been about $250. It can be yours for $205 like it is, $225 with an ApostleP edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Bark River Ultralite Bushcrafter. Next up, oh man, what a beautiful knife this is. I do not own LT Wright. I really need to own LT Wright. And this is one of LT's creations. It is a collab with Gary Wines. It is the LT Wright Gary Wines Bushcrafter. This one in 01 steel. Comes in a gorgeous leather sheath, beautifully wet formed to the handle. You've got a belt loop, a D-ring, and a removable dangle, fire steel loop, and here's the knife, and what a piece of work this is, guys. Would you look at that bone? That is, I'm not sure if that's bovine or camel, but look at the way it took that black dye. Beautifully polished, and then it's got thick liners that the box says is snakeskin. I believe, looking at these edges, that's the same material that GEC calls muslin micarta. Then brass pins, a little different than LT usually uses. So I think that might be part of the Gary Wines influence. Brass lanyard, gorgeous drop point 01 blade with that classic LT Wright super sharp 90-degree spine. Blade length is 4 7/16. Handle length is 4 7/16. In the hand, it's a stick, and it fits the human hand beautifully. Perfect Scandi grind, very sharp edge. I'm going to give you a sharpened price, but I'm not saying it needs it. Condition on this one is going to be near mint in box. You could probably call it like new. I can't really detect anywhere. Let's see. They're long out of stock new. Sold listings on eBay, and these prices were in canvas micarta, not this beautiful bone and snakeskin configuration. But eBay sold listings running between $164 and $200. This would have been a significantly more expensive handle. Your price on this one's going to be $195. Near mint to like new in box with that beautiful wet form sheath. If you'd like me to sharpen it, add 25, so it'll be $220 sharpened. That's the LT Wright Gary Wines Bushcrafter. Next up, our second LT Wright of the evening. There is the box. And on the box it says, this is a large Northern Hunter in AEBL with a high saber grind and a natural canvas matte finished handle. You guys are going to recognize this pattern if you're Bark River fans. This also comes in a black wet formed sheath. Just a standard belt loop on this one. Beautifully finished and welted. Inside's the knife. If that looks like a Canadian, that's because it is. That's why we call it a Northern Hunter. So the large Northern Hunter features a 4 7/16 inch blade of AEBL stainless steel. So for you guys who understand Sandvik numbering, it'd be the same as 12C27. Okay. 4 7/16 blade, 4.5 inch handle, almost Moran bird's eye, and it fits the hand like a Moran bird's eye handle. It's kind of thicker than it is tall, so in a saber grip, it is awesome and locked in. It's got those assembly nuts and bolts with the stainless steel core and the brass nut, and then a brass lanyard. Just a user, guys. A great utility blade for hunters. Let's see. We're going to call this one like new in the box with the leather sheath. These are out of stock when they were available. There are some linen micarta ones still available, but no natural canvas. But it would have been $186 web new. We're going to do $150 on this one, shipped priority mail. $170 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the LT Wright Large Northern Hunter. Next up, oh guys, oh, I'm afraid if you're watching this video and you're not an early bird, it might be a moot point, but here it is. From Great Eastern Cutlery, Northfield unexcelled line of premium pocket knives We have a number 772215 Yankee Barlow in natural canvas micarta. Special factory order for Mike Latham at collectorknives.net. If you know your GEC model numbers, you know this was made in 2015, which means the tang stamp is going to say TIW, Titusville Iron Works. That tang stamp was discontinued in 2016, and the blade grinding duties in 2016 were transferred to the new CNC grinders. This one, though, was made on the old Nicholsons. We have a beautiful spear point main, cut swedge, long pull, satin finish, no etch, as Mr. Latham likes it. We have about a 7.5 pull, stellar walk and talk. Both blades beautifully centered. That secondary sheep's foot might be a little left, but pretty squared away. The 77 is, what, about 3 11/16 inches in length? Closed. This is an all-steel construction knife. The 77s weren't always all steel. Sometimes they had nickel-silver bolsters and nickel-silver liners. This one's all steel. And it is a beautiful example. Near mint to like new. I say near mint to like new because it is 7 years old, but all of its life spent in the tube. I don't think you can buy one for this, guys. Your price, $4.95 like it is, $5.25 for me to sharpen both blades. That's the GEC Northfield number 77 Yankee Barlow. Next up, of all the 94 Liberty Jacks that were run, this is the showstopper. The Northfield unexcelled version, model 941121 in blue camel bone. What a beautiful little knife this is. Would you look at that? Triple line bolster, plain end caps, cloud shield, nickel silver bolsters, brass liners. Closed length is 3 1/4. We have a single clip point blade with the old school Northfield unexcelled etch. Cut swedge, long pull, polished blade on this one. Beautiful snap, about a 7 pull on that little knife. Centering, I'm calling close. It is a bit to the right as you're looking at it. Condition is going to be like new in the tube. In this cover material, sold listings on eBay are ranging between $185 and $235. This one can be yours for $160. $160 like it is $175 with my edge. That is the GEC Northfield number 94 Liberty Jack Blue Camel. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. Next up, if you don't have one of these, you need one. It is another GEC 94 Liberty Jack, this one a Tidioute, and that Stars and Stripes label indicates that it has flag acrylic. Again, model 941121. Comes with the patty button. Because of the blade etches, the PPP had to go on the button. And I'll show you that in a second. Look at that. 3 1/4 inch closed. Kind of a smoothed out gun stock, almost. Got the American flag on the mark side, and then on the pile side, we have the title of the Constitution. The satin blade is going to be etched on the mark side with Liberty, and on the back side with the Gadsden flag, snake, don't tread on me. Pull weight on this one, about a 6.5. Perfect walk, perfect talk, dead centering, and absolutely zero issues with the acrylic. A lot of retailers graded these. There were some voids in the applique under the acrylic on the flag and the Constitution. There were some cracks. This is a perfect set of covers. Like new in the tube with button. Your price, $105 like it is, $120 with an Apostle P edge, and next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That's the GEC Tidioute number 94 Liberty Jack flag. Next up, we have a Northfield unexcelled knife from Great Eastern Cutlery. It is the number 68 White Owl. This one in Sandbar Stag, model 681221. It will come with a button featuring Howard the White Owl. Somebody's making fun of Mr. Bill. Here's the knife. It is an opposite end cigar pattern jack with Sandbar Stag covers. There is the mark side. There is the pile side. Not the most beautiful stag in the world, but dimensionally and aesthetically, it's really well matched. We've got pinched and aligned polished nickel silver bolsters on this one. A main clip point blade with the old school Northfield etch. Long pull cut swedge. And notice the swedge carries clear to the back on the side that is inboard to give it extra clearance, and then you've got Howard the Owl back there. Camtang knife. I will say that is a 6.5 pull. Nice walk and talk and moderate blade rub. You saw it on the main blade. Secondary pen, also showing a little bit of the rub. Very nice walk and talk for a GEC Camtang. We'll call it near mint to like new in tube. It came with that rub from the factory. With the button. Your price on this one, guys, is going to be $150 like it is. $175. I sharpened both blades. That's the GEC Northfield number 68 White Owl Stag. Next up, we have arrived at the Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. Early birds will not get a crack at this one until everyone does. It is a Tidioute cutlery offering from GEC. It's a 68 Pony Jack. Interesting, this has the same model number as that White Owl, but it's a different configuration. Model 681221 in Cocobolo. Same blade set, right? Clip and a pen, but this in a standard jack configuration. Both blades pivoting on the same end with a center liner. This is going to be all steel construction, liners and bolsters, with beautiful Cocobolo. Camtang knife. There's your main blade with the Pony Jack etch. Let's see if I can get the light to catch that for you. Long pull cut swedge, gorgeous clip point. About a 7 pull on this one. And superb Camtang walk and talk. And there's your secondary pen blade. Again, 3 7/16 inches in closed length. Take a look at your blade centering. It is pretty much perfect on both blades. Condition on this one's going to be like new in tube. And here's something of note, guys. Normally a Tidioute knife from GEC is going to come with a nail nick and a drawn swedge, but we get a satin Pony Jack etched long pull cut swedge main blade in a Tidioute. Pretty cool. Your price on this one's going to be $130 like it is. $155. I sharpened both blades. That's in your inventory as GEC Tidioute number 68 Pony Jack Cocobolo, the Rob's Pick for tonight. Next up, we have another GEC, and it's another Tidioute. This one is a 14 Lyle's Lick Creek Boys Knife model 142116 in OD green linen micarta, and it comes with a story, and the story is Butcher Shop Manners, which I'm not going to pause and read, just from Lyle's childhood. This is going to come in a collector knives pocket slip. Here's the knife. And you know, there's OD linen and there's OD linen. And this is some beautiful OD linen. Look at that. Look at that character mark of lighter colored micarta. Just beautiful. All steel construction. 3 1/16 inches in closed length. Single spear point blade. Long pull cut swedge. Just a slight bit of patina on this blade. I'm sure it will flitz off without really affecting the satin, if you so desire. Pull on this one, a 6. Perfect walk and talk. Dead down the middle centering. Condition we will call near mint in tube with story and that very slight patina. Your price on this one will be $150 like it is, $165 with my edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. The GEC Tidioute number 14 Lick Creek Boys Knife. Next up, time to get to some modern folders. And oh, what a bunch of modern folders we have. First up, from a Hinderer Knives made in the USA, we've got an Eklipse 3.5 M390 Swedged Spear Tri-Way Pivot, Battle Bronze finish on the frame, and black G10 scale. This was a DLT exclusive. There is your black G10 scale. There is your Battle Bronze anodized titanium frame and clip. Bright hardware. Steel inserted titanium frame lock with the Hinderer lock bar stabilizer. Tri-way flipping action with fingers on the lock bar is perfect. There is your working finish blade, the Swedged Spear Point M390 USA. Lockup is rock solid. There is your engagement. Beautiful ball bearing action. Blade centering is perfect condition. Near mint to like new in box. The only reason I say that, it has had a scale swap. The consignor sent this in. He sent in 2 Eklipses, and he had switched the scales. So I just made them match the box. This is how it came. But there has been a wrench in the hardware. Okay, I don't think it's really damaged, but just so you know, you wouldn't be able to tell it from new if I didn't tell you. Let's see. Of course, these are gone. Can't buy one anywhere. This one we're not going to hold you up. Just $450 like it is. $475 with my edge on it. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That is the Hinderer Eklipse Swedged Spear. Next up, you're probably expecting this. It's another Hinderer, and it's another Eklipse. This is going to be a 3.5-inch Eklipse Harpoon Spanto Tri-Way Pivot, working finish, blue G10 scale. Just like the last knife, it's in like new condition, except there has been an Allen wrench in those body screws because he had switched the scales, but I put them back into their original configuration. There is your working finished frame with bright hardware. Hinderer lock bar stabilizer, steel inserted pivot, tri-way pivot, bearings installed, finger on lock bar, and out she flies. Centering is going to be perfection. And let's check the lockup. There it is, and it's rock solid. Blade steel on this one is CPM 20 CV. So condition we will say is near mint in box. They're out of stock everywhere. But we're not going to rape you. Let's just do $450 like it is. $4.75 with an ApostleP Edge next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6 tonight. Hinderer, Eklipse, Spanto. Next up in our final Hinderer tonight, these are such cool knives. So slim, so svelte, so awesome. It is the Hinderer Firetac Recurve Tri-Way Pivot Battle Bronze Finish and Blue G10 scale. Man, what a gorgeous knife. Just check out the milling on that G10. So beautiful. As is the Battle Bronze finish. So it's a sandblast, a tumble, and a bronze ano. Bright hardware, steel inserted titanium frame lock, Hinderer lock bar stabilizer. This one opens via a thumb disc and ball bearings. There's that recurve blade in a working finish. CPM 20 CV is the blade steel. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. Ball bearing action's beautiful. Centering's dead. What a nice knife. Nice knife. Long blade on these, 3 5/8. 4 3/4 handle. Condition near mint to like new in box. They are out of stock everywhere. We'll do this one for $4.20 like it is. $4.45 with an ApostleP Edge, the Hinderer Firetac Recurve. Next up, boy, the absence of a box on this one is going to make somebody a great deal. You get a microfiber pouch to house your North Arm Skaha carbon fiber. Gen 1 Skaha. So you're going to get the deep carry wire clip right hand tip up only. And you're going to get an S35VN blade with that milled blade face. They do such a nice job. They're thin, they're slicey. The flipping action is unparalleled, unexcelled. Wait, it's not a Northfield. Stainless steel liner lock, there's your engagement. Lockup is rock solid. The blade centering is going to be down the middle. The flipping action is Skaha. That double click. Oh, such a great knife. Condition will be near mint, no box. Let's do, wow, this has got to be the least expensive one of these I've sold. $200 like it is. $220 with an ApostleP Edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. The North Arm Skaha CF Gen 1. Next up, from Spyderco in a tiny box by way of Taichung, Taiwan, we have a Rhino carbon fiber. Actually, carbon fiber over G10 laminate, the latest grippier iteration. Cool little knife. Just, what is it? Let's see, 2 3/8 inch blade and a 3 9/16 handle. What a little cutie that is. Blade steel is CTS XHP. There's the Reinhold maker's mark on the off side and the Spyderco bug on the show side. CTS XHP is your blade steel. It wants to be a trailing point. Nice and thinly ground. Compression lock, and it's not exactly like Paramilitary 2 free dropper. It kind of makes you squeeze the handle a little bit. The action's free, I'm just not very good at it. The lockup is rock solid. And the blade centering is perfect. There, that shows it off a little better. Get the full-size Spidey clip. It'll go both ways. Condition on this one is like new in the box. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. When they were available, the web price, map price was $140. This one can be yours for $120. They're doing like between $110 and $140 on eBay. Kind of a sought-after discontinued knife. So $120 like it is, $140 with my Edge. The Spyderco Rhino. Next up, another diminutive Spidey box. This one from Golden, Colorado. It's a little native plain black CPM M4. So it's a Blade HQ exclusive. I just so love this color combination. And I don't think other than my Benchmade 940, I don't own a Spyderco in jade with DLC blade and black hardware. But just look at the shadows it makes. It's so cool. Even black coated deep carry paperclip clip on this one. So the little native, of course, has the tiny little blade with my greasy fingerprints on it. Blade steel is CPM M4. Compression lock mechanism. Rock solid lockup. Nice action. And the blade centering on this one is dead center. I don't know if you can see it, but it is dead center. Condition is going to be like new in the box. It's a Blade HQ exclusive that's out of stock. eBay sold listings are all over 200 bucks for a new condition knife like this. My experience is they haven't been doing that. We're going to do $195 on this one, $220 with my edge on it. That is the Spyderco Little Native Jade M4 DLC. Next up, what a cool knife this is. Well, we had a Blade HQ exclusive. Let's do a DLT exclusive, shall we? From Spyderco, Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. We have a Yojimbo 2, black blade, tan handle, and 20 CV blade. DLT exclusive. Beautiful desert tan G10. Really pops with that black hardware and that black blade. Even the internals are blackened on this one. Whoops. Wow, nice detent. Beautiful DLC blade. There's your 20 CV designation. Michael Janich design. Beautiful knife. 4-way pocket clip. Looks like a parkerized or black oxide coated clip. Let's see how we doing on action. Beautiful free dropper. Probably a way more usable blade than I've ever given it credit for being, frankly. So let's see. Action's beautiful. Lockup is dead solid. Blade centering is dead down the middle. Condition is like new in the box. These are out of stock at DLT. Sold listings on eBay run between $229 and $275. This one can be yours at $225 like it is, $250 with an ApostleP edge. Next day sharpening is available. That's in your inventory of Spyderco Yojimbo 2 Tan 20CV DLC. Next up, we have another Spyderco, another dealer exclusive, and another Golden, Colorado knife. Here it is. The knife in the box is a Paramilitary 2 ORBL. You guys know the knife. It's the Bronco Pair 2 because it's orange and blue. Cutlery Shop exclusive. Orange G10 on the show side. Blue G10 on the off side. Bright hardware. Polished clip. Satin blade. In CPM Rex 45. It is like new in the box. The lockup is rock solid. The action is free dropping. The blade centering is dead. So yeah, Cutlery Shop exclusive, discontinued and out of stock. Sold listings on eBay, a pretty tight group, between $199 and $220. They're worth what they're worth. This one can be yours, all in, shipped, priority mail, no taxes, person to person, $195 like it is, $220 with my edge on it. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Spyderco Pair 2 ORBLU Rex 45. Next up, I love this knife because it flies under the radar, man. It's another Spyderco, another Pair 2 from Golden. This says Pair 2, Paramilitary 2, dark gray. That's all it says. Dark gray. This was the Blade Ops exclusive Paramilitary 2 with dark gray G10, bright hardware, polished clip, and a blade satin finished and made out of Elmax. Just a beautiful knife. Let's see. Lockup would be rock solid. Blade, very nearly a free dropper. Yeah, plenty okay. Blade centering down the middle. Condition, near mint to like new in the box. Discontinued, out of stock. Prices wildly vary on these knives. Between $187 and $269. This is about as nice a one as you're going to find. We're going to do $200 on this one. $225 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That's in your inventory is Spyderco Pair 2 GY for gray, Elmax. Next up, man, you don't see these very often. It's another Spyderco Paramilitary 2. This one is a Wharncliffe. I didn't know this, but the Wharncliffe Paramilitary 2 was a cutlery shop exclusive. It looks kind of unassuming. Black G10, bright hardware, polished clip, satin blade in S30V. But that Wharncliffe version, and it's such a menacing warning, was a cutlery shop exclusive. Lockup is dead solid. Ooh, action is free swinging. What a beautiful, beautiful action on this knife. Centering is dead down the middle. Condition, like new in the box. They are out of stock and discontinued. I don't think you'll ever see S30V again in a pair of 2. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $195 and $255. This one can be yours for a very round number. $200 like it is. $220 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That is the Spyderco Pair 2 Wharncliffe. Next up, I almost made this the Rob's pick tonight because it is an icon, it is a classic, and it is in the most awesome knife steel known to man. From Kershaw, and I don't believe I actually knew this series of knives existed, but look closely. It says FSS, Factory Special Series. This is a Blur 1670 NBM4. Yeah, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that that means the blade is made of CPM M4. Royal blue, hard anodized aluminum with beautifully textured TAC-TOPS inserts. The old school Kershaw clip. The best thumb studs known to man. Speed safe spring assist mechanism. DLC coated M4 blade. Backwards flag. It is rock solid lockup, nice engagement, nice and free. Now we're on the spring. Blade centering is dead. That is a sweet blur right there, boys and girls. And oh so slicey. Just imagine that with about a 15 or 16 degree M4 edge. So these are long gone, I believe. Yeah, discontinued, out of stock. It's like new in the box. Sold listings on eBay run between $120 and $185. Sold listings. This one can be yours for $120, shipped, priority mail, all in. $145 with an Apostle P edge, and you can have it sharpened next day if it's one of the first 6 knives purchased to be sharpened tonight. That's the Kershaw Blur Blue M4. Next up, I promised you guys some CPOS, and some CPOS you shall have. From Petrified Fish, we've got this guy. It's the Beluga in a brown micarta scale material, a deep carry pocket clip. It's almost like a blackwash, like a black coated and then tumbled. Going to be left or right hand tip up. It is reversible. It is a front flipper liner lock on ball bearings. There's your lock engagement. Lockup is rock solid. Blade centering is down the middle. I will not front flip it because I suck at front flipping. The blade on the Beluga is K110 steel. I have no idea what that is. Blade length is 3 9/16. Handle length is 4 5/8. Fills the hand nicely. It is like new in the box. Web pricing on these seems to be running between 48 and 52 bucks, plus tax and shipping, probably at that price. Or you could just buy this one, 40 bucks, shipped, priority mail, all in. 60 if you'd like my edge on it. And if you're quick, one of the first 6, you can have that sharpening done and shipped tomorrow. The Petrified Fish Beluga. Next up, from Qvist Blade Works, we have the Qvist variant PE. I think that means plain edge in black. So you got black G10. And this is rocking the factory accessory fill tab. It does accept this pocket clip, which is going to be right hand deep carry tip up. But this owner decided to just drop it in the pocket. It opens via an oval hole. It has a Wharncliffe blade, Wharncliffe-ish. Blade steel is Sandvik 14C28N. Beautifully satin finished. There's your stainless steel liner lock engagement. It's dead solid on ball bearings. Blade centering is perfect. Blade length on the variant is 3 inches. The handle is 3 15/16, so nice and efficient. Let's see, it's like new in the box. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, they had a web price of about 69 bucks, plus whatever the tab cost. Okay, this one can be yours with everything you see here. 55 bucks, double nickels like it is, 75 with my edge. The Qvist variant PE black. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. Next up, got one from a Real Steel. Gosh, I hope so. And the model is the G-frame. It's kind of a Ray Laconico-y designed, sort of a take on the Kwaiken, right? Very slim profile, faceted titanium handle, deep carry wire pocket clip that's going to be reversible left or right. The handle length is 4 3/8. Out of that handle flips. Whoops, it does better than that actually. It flips an S35 VN drop point blade with a very cool fuller. The blade length is 3 3/8. Of course, it's a titanium frame lock with a steel insert. There's your lock engagement. The lockup is rock solid. The ball bearing action is super free. The blade centering is dead down the middle. The condition is, I'm going to call it near mint to like new in box. The reason I say that, as with most wire clips, they'll move laterally a little bit, and there's just a little tiny rub in the titanium from where that clip has moved. Okay, you're not going to really avoid that. All right, so these were a White Mountain Knives exclusive. They were $110 when they were in stock. I think they still are. They are. So we're going to do this one at 90 bucks, all in, shipped priority mail. $110 with my edge on it. That is the Real Steel G-frame. Next up, another one from Real Steel. And I told you there would be some fusion knives in the sale, and this is one. It's the Luna from Real Steel, and it's the carbon fiber version. If there is another version, I don't know. Kind of got a stridery handle, doesn't it? Very cool milled carbon fiber, solid satin finished CF. Good looking pivot. Nice looking deep carry, polished pocket clip. It's a slip joint mechanism with, I guess it's a half stop, but it's kind of a 2/3 stop. Pull weight is about a 6. Walk and talk is okay, you know, it's never going to be a GEC, is it? Blade centering is very close to perfect, just a little left. So the handle length is 3 13/16. The blade length is 2 3/4. Beautiful drop point. in N690 from Bowler. It's like new in the box. These are out of stock. When they were available, web price was about 90 bucks. We're going to do 75 on this one. 95 with an Apostle P edge. That's the real steel Luna CF. Next up, we got a Ray Laconico design knife. Shocking, I know, from Monterey Bay. This is the slayback. This is the standard size slayback. So in the inventory, it's just going to say slayback. Here's the knife. How about that? Not a swayback, a slayback. Beautiful titanium handle, but not a frame lock. Inside that titanium handle, there is a stainless steel liner lock. Believe it or not, but you do have a milled titanium clip. It's going to be right hand tip up only. Outside the handle comes a 2 7/8 inch blade, a gorgeous Wharncliffe in ZDP 189 San Mai. I'm not sure what the cladding steel is, but you can sure see the lamination line. Okay, beautiful blade, rock solid lockup. There's your engagement. It's on bearings. And your centering is going to be dead down the middle. Condition on this will be like new in pouch. These are out of stock. Sold listings on eBay running between $236 and $260. You can buy this one at 200 bucks, like it is. $220 with an Apostle P edge. The Monterey Bay slayback. Next up, why was I so precise in my language? Because we have another Monterey Bay designed by Ray Laconico, and I did not just zoom in. This is the Monterey Bay Slayback XL. So basically the same Laconico design as the normal size slayback, just bigger. Ray Laconico design, 4 13/16 inch handle, and a 3 9/16 Wharncliffe blade in ZDP 189 San Mai. Nicely done. Titanium handle with a stainless steel liner lock. There's your engagement. It's dead rock solid. Ball bearing pivot. Perfect blade centering. Milled titanium clip. Right hand tip up. Beautiful flipping action. Condition like new in pouch. These are also out of stock. eBay sold listings run between $200 and $329. This one pristine. Your price $225, like it is. $245 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available. It's one of the first 6. That is the Monterey Bay Slayback XL. Next up, got a couple traditionals for you. First, from Schatt and Morgan, 2008 manufacturer, which does not inspire confidence, but wait till you see it. It's the model 042297 Barlow, and is it ever gorgeous? Would you look at that jigging? The color is very similar, if you guys remember, the Northwoods Splitback Whittlers and Italian jig bone. This is different jigging, but just the same color. It is a rich, gorgeous brown, and that jigging is amazing. Got your S&M stamp on the mark side of the bolster. Closed length is 3 5/8. Blade set is a spear main, a nice slim long pull cut swedge spear. Schatt and Morgan etch. Cam tangs, but guys, stunning walk and talk. Beautiful cam tang action. There's a secondary pen, very big and usable considering the slim profile of the knife. And it says number 42 of 297. Actually got an edge on it. That is a really nice Schatt and Morgan, guys. I'm going to call it near mint to like new in box. The pull weight's about 6.5. Your price on this one, $110. You will not hurt my feelings if you don't buy this, by the way. You just won't. Anyway, $110 like it is, $135 sharpen. Next up, you won't hurt my feelings if you don't buy this one either. It's another one from Shatton Morgan. It's called the Mountain Man Trapper, model number 04213T. If you ever wonder where Bill Howard got the idea for the number 23, here it is. Guys, would you look at that bone? What do you call that? It's like an antique red. Look at the jigging on that thing. Oh my gosh. And in the Keystone Shield it says 925 SS. I don't know if that's the shield material. I don't know. And then you got a Camtang blade set. Subtle clip point main. Says one of 600. Again, really beautiful Camtang action. About a 7 pull. And then you get a secondary spay. Nice. Centering is gosh darn perfect on both blades. Wow, they could do it once in a while, and this is once in a while. The Shatton Morgan 04213T Mountain Man Trapper. Your price, $115 like it is, $145. I sharpened both blades. That's yummy. Next up, I teased you about this one yesterday in the heads up video. We got the old blue box, so this must be like, what does that mean, like 2014 or back in this box? It is the McHenry Williams 710 D2 Axis Lock. I sharpened this knife for Roberto when it was brand new, and it still looks brand new. Look at the sheen on that G10. Now he has changed out the clip, gone to the polished deep carry Benchmade clip. Look at that blade. This, I recognize my edge. This would have been an early TheApostleP edge. It's pretty laid back, about 17 degrees. It's pretty highly polished. I did give it a quick strop because I just had to, out of love. It's really, really sharp, guys. Lockup is rock solid. Action is beautiful. The centering is dead. The condition is near mint, in box. These are discontinued. They are out of stock. And the prices, they just be going up. Sold listings on eBay for knives in similar condition between $250 and $330. This one can be yours. No apologies, no regrets. $250, no need to sharpen. That's in your inventory as a Benchmade 710 TAP for TheApostleP Edge. Next up, and it's the last knife in the sale. If you guys have been paying attention, you know what it is. It's a Benchmade, and as of last night, previously reviewed on the TheApostleP channel. And this is the review sample furnished by Knife Ship Free. This was their promotional consideration for the video, because Knife Ship Free is, if you're buying a new knife, the best place to buy knives. It is the 317-1 Weekender. 4 1/16 inch closed length. Modern take fusion knife on the canoe pattern. Very tastefully done. Dark OD green canvas micarta. Orange anodized aluminum pivot collars. Black hardware. You've got an opposite end canoe. Clip point main. S30V. About 90 thousandths thick. 87 I think I measured it at. On half stops. And the walk and talk is a little better than proper, if you know what I mean. But a super solidly made knife. No wobble at open. Opens pretty firmly. Beautifully designed blade. 20 thousandths thick behind the edge. Nice sharpening choil. A through slot nail nick for opening. Then the secondary is a fat little pen blade. Same pull, same S30V steel, same funky half stop. But then, it's a weekender. What do you do on the weekends? I don't, but you guys do. You drink beer. You got to open the bottles. You got a bottle opener. It's a friction fit. The blades are on phosphor bronze. That's just a friction opening on the bottle opener. But nicely so. The attitude is perfect. I mean, it's just great. So, it is like new in the box. Only fondled and reviewed. So, web map price for these knives at your favorite retailer, which should be knife ship free, is $225. But as I like to do, when I decide I'm not going to keep one of these review samples, I make you guys a deal. And a deal I shall make you. Your price, $170 like it is. $200, my edge on both blades. That is the Benchmade 317-1 Weekender, and that brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking.